Hey everyone, it's Kyle from Cool Collectibles. It's been a while since I've done a collection update video, and with 3 months left in the year, I thought it'd be a good time to quickly go through what I've got over the past few months in the 1/6 scale in statue space, and what I might have coming up over the rest of the year and into early next year as well. So I'll probably do a video on 1/6 scale and statues, and then go into another video on some of the smaller scale stuff and my Lego and some of the miscellaneous stuff that I have coming up as well. So with 1/6 scale, as you will probably know, I do have just recently got the Royal Guard here, which does look pretty damn fantastic. And that spot there is something I've left for the Emperor coming up hopefully soon. It just released in Hong Kong. So Sideshow will probably get it in the next month or so. So hopefully the local, I did pre-order it locally from Pop Culture instead of Sideshow this time. So hopefully they don't take too much longer than that, and I get it this side of the year and not early next year. But on this space, I think the only other thing that I might get, they also announced recently the Bespin Leia figure. Now, I'm not too sure if I'm going to get that yet, to be honest. I am pretty happy with the Hoth one and the A New Hope one. So I'm not sure if... I guess the only other outfit that she had in Return of the Jedi was the Endor outfit. So I'm not sure if I'll get the Bespin one, but there's plenty of time to decide on that one, I guess. The only other figure I might have got on this side of the room is the Anakin figure here. So this is just the regular version, not the evil version with the Sith eyes, but I am pretty happy with that sculpt regardless. Overall, I do have the Return of the Sith Obi-Wan figure pre-ordered as well to complement this one on the shelf, and I haven't really fussed around with that cloak too much. I did hear a lot of people dipping it in some warm water to get rid of some excess dye, just in case it sort of stains the hands or the head sculpt. I haven't tried that yet, but I might think of doing that if I get more reports that there are issues. I did pass on the Hot Toys Darth Maul DX16 or 17, I think it is. I'm happy enough with the Sideshow version here, and I'm not that big a fan of the prequels to double dip on that. But that's pretty much on this side of the room. These acrylic cases I haven't really changed all that much, and I'm pretty happy with the way I've displayed them around the collection, so I won't be changing those up too much. Same on this side. I think the only other thing on this side that we got recently in the last few months was the new head sculpts for Sam and Frodo here. And as you'll remember from my review of those, the paint application on Frodo, I guess for the most part, most people thought it was incomplete, and there were enough complaints to Asmus for them to at least announce informally that they would be sending out replacements with the proper paint application. Now, they did say back in August that they would make an announcement when they were ready, and no formal announcement has been made. So we'll probably start reminding them fairly soon again. So hopefully collectors round up that to give them a kick up the arse for taking so long. But in the meantime, they did release perhaps their best figure in this Lord of the Rings series, and probably their best figure ever in Gimli. And if I can get rid of all these bloody reflections, maybe I should just open this door, eh? And Gimli is absolutely fantastic. It's been I guess a scary figure in trying to put some of the axes on the side there. I did almost split mine, and I gave up, and that's why the axe is just sitting there. So I won't bother trying to put that on. But after they fix Frodo, and if they ever get around to doing a new Legolas expansion set with rooted hair, I'll be all for that as well. But that's pretty much it on this side. Let me just see if there's anything else that I might have had. So I've mentioned the Royal Guard. So I think the only other things I have coming up are the on this side, I guess, with the Return of the Jedi Luke figure. Now, that did release before the Royal Guard, and it was actually meant to arrive back in July. But again, I made the call to get that locally, and for whatever reason, they've continually delayed it from July to the end of September, and now they think the Return of the Jedi Luke will come at the end of October. So hopefully, I'll get that soon. And that does look like a decent figure, but it'll be interesting to compare the head sculpts for that one against the A New Hope and the DX07. Now, I do also have the Last Jedi Leia figure pre-ordered, and I hated that movie, but because I've got the old Han here and the old Luke from The Force Awakens, I just couldn't pass up on also getting an old Leia figure, and I guess that's the only version they had from The Last Jedi. I mentioned Obi-Wan, and I also have, I guess to go up here with some of my other sci-fi type action figures, is Neo from The Matrix. So I think that's coming out in January. So hopefully they're on track for that one, and I can add that to the collection as well. Now, on the statue front, the only statue I've had in the last 3-4 months is the Sideshow She-Ra, which I still think looks fantastic, along with the others. I am disappointed that they haven't really shown too much more in this series. The only one I've got coming up next is Orko, and they haven't announced anything more. I was really hoping they were going to go deep into this series with some of the other core casts, with Beastman, Merman, Trapjaw, Man-at-Arms, etc. Even Teela would have been fantastic, but they haven't really announced anything, so hopefully they don't just can the series. So apart from Orko, on the PCS front, over here I haven't ordered my acrylic cases to cover these two yet, but I do have the Evil Ryu coming from PCS, or Sideshow now, after their whole transfer debacle. I did have to cancel the Akuma, sorry, 10th or Ultimate set. I just didn't have the space for it, so I sold that pre-order. But I do have the Chun-Li and the Sagat 1/3 scale, and if they're anything like this, they'll absolutely be pieces I'll keep forever in my collection. I love this 1/3 scale Ryu. But that's pretty much it on the big ones. I do have a couple of horror Bishojos pre-ordered. I do have the Ash from Evil Dead coming up hopefully in October to go with the rest of these horror ones. And they did announce Pinhead, and now the Pinhead looks fantastic, but the Michael Myers that they just recently announced the other day looked pretty disappointing, where the mask they just had it sculpted and dumped on the base instead of the figure actually holding it or wearing it, which was pretty disappointing. But that's pretty much it on the statue front. Nothing more from the Bishojo Street Fighters that I was interested in. I did see the NYCC teaser for Catwoman in the DC Bishojo series, and that does look pretty sexy, so I might get that. The original release goes for some ridiculous amount on eBay, but this new one looks pretty good too. But that is pretty much it, I think, from statues and figures. Let me see, Marvel. I'm surprised I can't think of anything from Marvel. I didn't pre-order the Ant-Man or the Wasp just yet. I might get those when they come out later next year. I think the pre-order periods are now in the order of 12 months, so there's plenty of time to think about it. Oh, that's right. I've got the Black Panther figure, because they did announce a figure with the unmasked head sculpt as well. So I did pre-order that locally for a pretty good price as well. 10% discount plus the $50 discount in pennies. But I think that's pretty much it. So again, it's been a bit of a slow year in 1/6 scale and statues, but hopefully I get a few more before the end of the year, and you can subscribe and stay tuned for the upcoming videos there. But I will get onto the next video with some Transformers and some of my other smaller scale figures, so hang out for that. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.